Hello everyone, I'm Zethrix.
And I'm Savazar. And we played Dinkum for 100 days, and here's what happened.
And we had a new visitor. I made sure to check the bulletin board every day, and Rain was finally visiting. Rain sells all the farming supplies. She sells the hoe and the watering can. So I made sure to buy them right away. But first she told me I needed a license. But I already had the farming license, so I was a little confused. So I ended up buying the landscaping license. And that's when I learned how to make all sorts of different decorative pieces. And now I was finally able to buy my watering can and my hoe. In Stardew Valley, farming was one of my most favorite things, obviously, so I couldn't wait to get to it in this game. So I bought a watering can and a hoe, and thanks to all the money I was making, I was able to buy over 60 wheat seeds. I wasn't even sure if I was going to have enough room to plant all of these seeds. I also bought lots of onion seeds, which can only be planted in the summer and the spring. And after buying all of these seeds, I was literally broke. I was able to buy over 110 onion seeds. Since I was so broke, I went to John to sell all the goodies I had to try to get some money back. I made sure to buy an axe while I was there. I started the process of clearing an area so I could plant all the seeds that I got. Savazar showed me some of the cool fruits she found for me. And this is really what starts the long process of digging. For the first part of this 100 days, I am going to be moving mountains of dirt. I made sure to use my scythe to clear out all the weeds. And now I had a pretty good setup for where I wanted to do my crops. I began the process of hoeing so that way I could plant my seeds. And finally it was time to plant all the seeds that I had. After I finished watering everything, I think I may have overestimated how many seeds I had. I went and finished an investigation quest I had for finding this mysterious piece of metal that came down from the sky. It was full of all the same goodies that I had been finding while I was metal detecting. I still wasn't exactly sure what they would come in handy for yet. And now that I can make copper tools, I always made it a point to mine as much copper as I possibly could. And finally, after collecting all that copper, I was able to finish some tasks I completed. I got the Savvy Shopper task for spending over 100 dinks. I got the Green Thumb task for planting over 10 seeds. I got the Wet Thumb task for watering over 100 plants, which gave me lots of permit points. And I also finished the Savvy Shopper task for spending over 100,000 dinks. And I finished the grinding down task for grinding stones, and I got the seed sale task for buying a bunch of seeds. And after collecting all that copper, I was finally able to make a copper pickaxe and axe.
I was just trying to cook and mind my own business, and then this little guy came over and started wreaking havoc. But then Zethrix came over and helped me out, and I also came back from being on fire to finish this little guy off.
And once I made my copper pickaxe, I wanted to show Savazar how proud I was. And I don't think she cared at all. She was just trying to run around and catch bugs. She didn't even look at me. I was excited to have my copper pickaxe, so I started testing it out. And then this little chump tried to jump me while I was mining. At this point, I was done with these guys, and I just ran away. And it was time to call it a day and wrap up day 10. I felt like day 10 was another really good day. Like I said, I was getting my feet under me, things are starting to get done, and we were starting to move in the right direction. Of course, we finished off with a bunch of levels, and I was finally starting to get farming levels. And we earned 19,000 dinks today. And on day 11, it was the first time it rained, and I couldn't be more excited. That meant I didn't have to water any of my crops. And Theodore's museum finished today, so it's time to go check it out. After checking out the new museum, I made a few extra chests to start making room for more storage because we were running out of room. And when I went back to Theodore, I finished a quest for him. And he gave me a fruit salad. After being rudely interrupted last night, it was time to test out my new copper tools. And before I knew it, little Savazar was running up to me and telling me she had a present for me.
So we are on day 11, and Zethrix is still walking around barefoot, and I couldn't have that. So I sold my shirt, and I surprised him with these new sneakers. He's so lucky he has me here.
And now that I had my new shiny sneakers, it was time to continue breaking into these big rocks. Not only did they give me copper, but they also gave me lots of iron ore, which I hadn't been able to collect yet. And I made sure to grind down any shiny rocks I got to get more ores out of them. I went back to Theodore to make my first donation into the museum. And for every new item you donate, you get 100 permit points. So I was going to try to take advantage of this as much as I possibly could. I went to Fletch to see if she needed anything, and after I gave her a butterfly, she rewarded me with an iron path. There was no way I could do anything with an iron path at this point. And now, Savazar and I are just wrapping everything up for the day, doing our usual chores around town. I finished my quest for mining over 50 rocks, making over 50 bars, helping over 10 friends, receiving my first letter in the mail, and getting our second building in our town. And I know I haven't mentioned it before, but I am a big doofus, and when I was recording everything, I left about 1.5 inches of the screen off of the recorder. So yes, if you've noticed it at this point, and I'm sure you have, it'll be fixed maybe in the next few days. I didn't notice for a while. Like I said, I am a doofus. And after a successful day 11, we managed to get lots of mining levels, and we made progress on the other ones. And on day 12, we had a new visitor to the island. As soon as I walked in the building, I knew Savazar was going to have a new best friend.
My girl Clover came in at the perfect time since yesterday I just sold my shirt.
After visiting Clover, I made my way over to Fletch to apply for some new licenses. And so I bought the brewing license. And this is where I learned how to make the Billy Can kit. And even though we didn't have any pets yet, I made sure to purchase the handling license. And that's when I learned how to make the bird coop. And I had all sorts of goodies, including this opal I got from the day before, and I sold everything for 50,000 dink. And that's when I bought my first furnace. And I also had the re-up on my bug catching net, and I put my furnace next to all my other stuff. At this point, everything was starting to get a little cluttered. And after getting the brewing license, I was able to make my first keg, and I placed it right next to John's shop. Since it didn't rain today, I made sure to water all my crops. And I made my way back over to Theodore to donate any new bugs I had, and rack in all the permit points. And at this point, Theodore's museum was thriving. I love being able to see all the bugs we've caught and brought to the museum in their little terrariums. And now, over the next 13 days or so, I was going to start the painful process of moving dirt.
I told you guys that Clover was going to be my girl, so I spent all day trying to do her quest to get her to move in, and I ended up with this adorable yellow dress.
So I better make sure to mention that Savazar also got me a gift. She got me a new hat, if you hadn't noticed. As you can see, I was keeping up with all my meat collecting and bug catching, as well as mining. Like I said, my days were starting to get a lot more productive, and I was a busy bee. And I made about 51,000 dinks. And like I said, I was a busy bee, and now I learned how to make a bee house. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let us know what you think down in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.